In this video, we will explore equations of lines. The first form, ax plus by equals c, is called the standard form of a line. Given a slope m and a point x1, y1, the point slope form of a line is y minus y1 equals m, which is our slope, times x minus x1. And lastly, the slope-intercept form of a line is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and the ordered pair 0b is the y-intercept. So you can just look at that form of the line and figure out the slope right away. It's the number attached to x, and the y-intercept, which is the plus b. When you're given 2 points and asked to find the equation of a line, follow these steps. First, find the slope between the 2 points. Then, use the slope and the point that you labeled as x1, y1 to find the equation of the line in point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. If you're asked for the slope-intercept form, solve the equation for y to get y equals mx plus b. So those are your 3 forms of a line, and we're going to look at finding the equation of a line through 2 given points. So here we have a graph, and the example says find the equation of the line through the 2 points. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to figure out what my 2 points are. So I'm going to look on the graph, and I'm going to look at the x-axis and y-axis. So this point right here is 6, 2. And let me adjust my pen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write in the point 6, 2. And then the other point down here, the x is -4 and the y is -6. So that's the ordered pair, -4, -6. Okay, so I've got my 2 points. And what I want to do is label them just like I did when I was finding the slope. I'm going to label this as an x1, y1. And I'll go ahead and label this one as x2, y2. And it doesn't really matter which one you label as the first point and which one you label as the second point. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start by finding the slope. So I want to find the slope, and I'm going to use the form that we learned in the previous video, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So change in y over change in x. And I'm just going to plug in the points that I found here. So y2 in my labeling is -6. Y1 is 2, so I'll have -6 minus 2 divided by x2, which is -4, minus x1, which is 6. Okay, so I'm going to end up with -8 over -10. A negative over a negative is a positive, so I have 8/10, which is the same as 4/5. So that is my slope. So that's what I'm going to use for m. And now for the line, the equation of the line, I'm going to go ahead and use that point slope form. So y minus y1 equals the slope m times x minus x1. Now my y, I'm just going to leave as a y. Y1 is a 2, so I'm going to have -2 equals my slope, 4/5, times x minus x1. x1 was 6. And that is what I would call the point slope form of the line. So if they just want the point slope form, you can stop there. Now, some of the problems want you to give your answer specifically in slope-intercept form. So if they do, what you want to do is you want to solve this equation for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 4/5. So I will have 4/5 x. And then 6 times 4/5, I only multiply the numerator of the fraction. So this is going to be 6 times 4 is 24. So this will be minus 24/5. And now I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I'll end up with y equals 4/5 x minus 24/5 plus 2. And I want to go ahead and do that. And I can use the calculator. If you can do that by hand, then go ahead and do that by hand. Otherwise, you can go ahead and pull up the calculator. I'm going to pull up Desmos calculator, and I'll do negative 24/5. And then I want to add 2 to that. So I'll go ahead and do plus 2. And if you want your answer in a fraction form, you can go ahead and convert to fraction using that button there. So negative 14/5 is going to be my answer. So I had negative 24/5 plus 2, and that's negative 14/5. So back here, I will have for my final answer y equals 4/5 x minus 14/5. And this is the final answer if they ask for the answer in slope-intercept form. Now, if I had reversed which number I put as my x1 and which number I had put as my x1, y1, and which I had put as my x2, y2, it should be okay. I should end up with the same equation once I get to slope-intercept form.